Hello everyone and welcome back. I wanted to talk about one scene in the Death Note series that I think gets overlooked as to how smart it really is, and that's the bus jacking incident. Some of this might seem like over-speculation, but I think there's a good argument for it. So let's go over the bus jacking scene from Death Note and talk about why it's actually smarter than most people realize. First, let's go over what happened and why. The bus jacking takes place after Light notices that he has someone following him around. Light assumes this is the work of L on the Kira case, attempting to find potential suspects. Light wants to get rid of the stalker before he can potentially find out his identity as Kira. However, Light doesn't know the stalker's name and is unable to kill him with the Death Note. In order to find the stalker's real name, Light tests out the Death Note's abilities and limitations and eventually creates the bus jacking incident. Light makes sure his stalker is still following him and writes a criminal's name down to hijack a bus that both Light and his stalker are on. While Light and his stalker are on the bus, the criminal gets on and attempts to hijack the bus with a loaded gun. Light and his stalker talk for a brief moment, and Light manages to convince his stalker to reveal his identity to him by pushing the idea that Light couldn't trust the stalker without identifying himself first, as he could be the bus jacker's potential accomplice. The stalker shows his ID to Light and his name is revealed to be Ray Penber, an FBI agent. Light drops a scrap of the Death Note, which the bus jacker sees and touches, which allows him to see Ryuk and scares him off the bus, where he falls into oncoming traffic and dies. It is this moment right here that Light says after the bus jacker is dead that makes this scene so smart. Right here, Light points out the exact time which he planned for the bus jacker to die at.
11:45 on the dot. Everything went just as I planned.
But what about this moment makes everything so much smarter than it first seemed to be? Well, if Light had specified an exact time for the bus jacker to die at, it meant he would have to time every single moment during this scenario to an exact point, as to make sure that the bus jacker would die at exactly 11:45 on the dot. From the moment Light decided to get on the bus, he had to control every second spent on there. Light had to figure the time for when the bus jacker got on the bus, how long it would take for Light to get the ID of the FBI agent, the moments of the criminal reacting to Light dropping the scrap of the Death Note, and how the criminal would react once touching the scrap and seeing Ryuk, then fleeing the bus and dying from traffic. Light had to time it all so that it would end at 11:45 exactly, and Light pulled it off. Which means Light had anticipated the length of every person he interacted with on that bus and was able to predict how long it would all take us to know when to time each moment that led up to the bus jacker's death. This is why the bus jacking is much smarter than we originally thought. But what do you think? Am I overreaching here, or does my analysis make sense to you? Let me know what you think in the comments.